Hello everyone. I'd like to talk to you today about slavery. Now, I'm not talking about the old style of slavery where people were captured, forced to work in fields, never given any time off, never given any pay. I'm talking now about modern day slavery, which has been recognized by the international community. Now, the situation of maids working in Hong Kong in many ways comes under the definition of modern day slavery. The United Nations High Commission on Refugees has in fact complained to the Hong Kong government several times, but nothing ever gets done. If you have a relationship with a girl working in Hong Kong as a domestic helper, there are several things that you really need to know about their lives. Under the contract, they must live in with their employer. They're not allowed to stay outside. They have to stay in the same house. They're only allowed 1 day off per week, and many employers don't even give them that. And those that do usually make them make breakfast first and be home by 9 p.m. It's not a proper day off. And the third thing is that if they leave their employment, they are forced to leave the country within 14 days. This means there is no time for them to get another job. All of these things are designed. They're there on purpose by the government so as not to give these poor girls any rights. So the girls working in Hong Kong very often have a very difficult life. They're there because they need to send money home to their families. Even though the wages they get are very poor, less than half of the standard Hong Kong salary, it is a lot more than they would get in their own country. So they put up with these problems. They put up with having very little time off. They put up with being exhausted. And they put up with a lot of abuse because they do not want to be sacked. Their chance of getting another job is almost nil. So if you have a relationship with a domestic helper working in Hong Kong, I'm asking you to please give them some leeway. They get very little time on their own. They would get very little time to meet you very often if you come. Some employers are very bad indeed. They beat them and they commit all sorts of other horrible acts, and they very rarely get punished. Because, of course, they're in a strange land, they have no one to witness what happens to them because they are living at home with their employers. This is a situation that the international community has raised with the Hong Kong government many times, but they never get anywhere. And the final thing is that although these girls can work for their employer for 10, 20, 30 years, they will never be allowed the right to remain in Hong Kong as a resident. After 30 years of service, they have to return back to the Philippines. They're not allowed to stay there. Generally speaking, there are some good employers. Some girls have a decent life, some girls don't. When you're talking to your lady, please be aware the type of thing that she has to put up with are things that you wouldn't understand coming from the West. These things don't happen to you. You get 2 days holiday a week at least. You get weeks of holiday a year. She is entitled to 1. Please bear these things in mind and please go easy on her. She's almost certainly doing her best to please you under very difficult circumstances. I hope this helps. Please don't forget to register down below. Thank you very much. Bye bye.